Good morning. Right now, more than 190,000 homes and businesses in British Columbia are without power, still in the dark after a powerful windstorm hammered the southern half of the province. That is the landmark pier in White Rock, just south of Vancouver. The century-old structure smashed in half by wind-driven waves, leaving a man trapped and essentially afloat on the debris. Search and rescue crews had to airlift him to safety. We have more on that story in just a moment, but first, more wild scenes from the height of the storm. Now, this is the Victoria area on Vancouver Island. Winds peaking at 100 kilometers an hour, blasting trees and knocking down power lines. Officials say a falling tree killed a man in Duncan, just north of Victoria. And this is a rescue from there. A houseboat adrift after being torn from its moorings.
The top suite is damaged quite a bit on the inside, mainly drywall.
I saw the first one get down, and that one down, immediately thought of the one that's in front of our house.
This is a look at the damage in Vancouver. Rows of big trees are down on some streets. Communities on BC's south coast took hard hits as well. BC Hydro warning that some homes and businesses may not get their power back for days. So here are the latest numbers from BC Hydro's website. More than 81,000 homes and businesses without power in the Vancouver area and on the Sunshine Coast. On Vancouver Island, more than 47,000 are blacked out in the Nanaimo area and communities to the north. Another 57,000 are in the dark in the Victoria area and towns in the southern half of the island. Again, BC Hydro warning the power may not be back in some places for days. Here is Tina Lovegreen with more, including another look at that rescue in White Rock.
Howling wind, pounding waves. Boats smashed into each other and tore away from the dock.
We saw that there was a group of about 12 sailboats that had come loose, and they were traveling together in like a tied-up clump of boats.
And those loose boats shattered a landmark that has stood for a century. Tim Shields and several others were standing on the White Rock Pier when it began to crumble under them.
And we had quite a dramatic run to safety to crawl up and over these masts with all of the guy wires and cables, and the pier was heaving up and down. It was coming apart almost under our feet.
While they escaped, a man in his early 40s was trapped on the other side. It took search and rescue teams an hour and a half to make the daring rescue, and when they reached him, he was soaked to the bone.
Scary. I'm just glad that nobody got hurt.
Police blocked roads and closed off the sliced pier. But that didn't stop dozens of onlookers trying to catch a glimpse of the wicked waves. And this brave soul wasn't deterred from crashing into the waves with his surfboard. His newlywed wife watching on shore.
I told him one wave and he's on his third, so he's going to be in trouble when he eventually makes his way in. But
are you not scared?
I'm a little terrified, but it's like Tofino, you know? No worse. Maybe a little worse, a little scarier.
A joyride for some, but the damaged boats are write-offs.
We haven't seen anything intact.
And the full extent of the damage to one of the city's best-known attractions won't be clear for some time. Tina Lovegreen, CBC News, White Rock.